Exactly. No, valuable advice. And thank you being transparent again with that. In terms of what was some of the valuable, you talked about grit and resilience. And then how does that show up with the results that you generate for the clients you serve? Because obviously you are more than just a lawyer to them. You're somebody they can trust. Somebody, because obviously I picked up on those values that you were talking about, even though you may not have said exactly, this is my value. I already immediately can pick up on that just by what you were saying, your body language, your eye contact. And I know some people that are listening to this are not watching the YouTube video and can only hear what you're saying. But nonetheless, I picked that up. How important are those values and how they show up in your body language, your eye contact, your words, anything, and how you're communicating to your audience, your clients?
So I think it really starts from instilling the core values and the mission of the business with your team, right? Everybody has to be on the same page. I mean, for instance, when our clients come to us, they're extremely emotional, they're needy, they're desperate because we're the last port of call to try and save their family and their loved one. And I tell my staff, listen, you have to understand these people. They're coming to us to because nobody else can help them. And you have to understand why they appear to be a little emotional and they might be a tad angry, right? They're frustrated because nobody's been able to help them. And you have to be compassionate and have a little empathy, right? You also need to make sure that you are available to them. You can't just file the case and say, forget it, right? You need to stay in contact with these clients and make sure that they understand that we care, right? That we're here to help them. That doesn't mean to say that you have to allow them to call you at 4 or 5 in the morning when you're asleep, but you have to be available. And if you're not available when they call, then set a time. But part of the core values is letting the clients know that we really care about them. And I've really been, I tell the staff, this isn't, if this doesn't work for you, and we've had staff members that listen, this isn't for me. Okay, great. Then we're not the right fit for you, and you're not the right fit for us. And we have to part ways. We do so as friends, and we move forward. But that's really important to us, because if we're not all on the same page and one staff member is just not doing what needs to be done, then it reflects badly on all of us. And how can we go out and help more people? So
that's so true. What you just said, if we're not in alignment, we're never going to be perfect. But if we're not in alignment, like you said, you think you could hide that with your audience and your clients, but it's like water. It finds a way to get to where it's got to go, right? It's going to come out no matter what. But when it comes out genuine and authentic from those values, that speaks louder than words will ever do.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that's important is that I tell the staff this, is that when you're talking to a family, is that we don't, excuse my French, bullshit people about what we can and cannot do. We are honest. And I tell families, when and I still do a lot of consults with families, I say, look, is it okay if I'm honest with you about what I can and cannot do for you? They're like, yeah, okay, great. Let's have that honest conversation. This is what I think that you need to do. That's an option. The other option is you either do nothing or you do this, and I think this will be the outcome. And as my late father told me, when it comes to making important family decisions, you get all the advice that you need, and then you make the decision that's right for your family. So that's what I do. I say, look, here's option 1. Here's the consequences of doing that. Here's option 2. Here's the consequences of doing that. You decide what you think is right for your family. I know what I would do, but that I'm not in your shoes. But I tell them honestly, this is what will happen if you don't do this. This is what will happen if you do this. And I say, and I say, look, here I am. I mean, I'm an open book. So I think that's important, right? Is to be really honest, and at the risk sometimes of offending people. And I've had people say, I don't like what you just told me. Okay, listen, if you want to be BS'd or have smoke blown
exactly,
right, then call somebody else. Exactly. I'm here to help you save your family. If you don't want to hear the truth, then I'm not the right lawyer for you. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The other thing that I have really worked hard at is trying to give as much value as I can for free. So pretty much every day I blast out a video on all the social media platforms. I shoot them on my phone, and they are about real life cases, not what you read on Google, not what some other lawyer who does, door law tells you this is how it really is, because you can read the black letter law on Google. I'm going to tell you how it works in the real world, and I'll give it to you for free. You just got to go and look on YouTube or wherever, and you'll find it. And if you decide you want to talk about, adding an illegal component to getting you some relief, okay, we're here to help you. So I try to give away as much as we can.